Jubilee Housing will stay anchored in the transformational vision of the Jubilee year for as long as we know how. This vision is an antidote to the things that separate us: access to food and shelter, gainful employment, quality education, health and wellness, belonging and love.
I just can't say enough how grateful I am for Jubilee Housing, for this community, because it basically gave me my life back. I began using drugs when I was 12 years old. My life was a mess. If someone considered all the things that I've encountered during the course of my life, they couldn't imagine my sitting here, but here I am.
I came to Jubilee Housing from domestic violence. I lost my eyesight. I am legally blind. I used to live enslaved. I used to live in darkness. So many doors were closed at me, but Jubilee told me, you can do it. You can do it. And I am so happy. You can get places with Jubilee Housing. You can get resources.
Jubilee is a very financially responsible institution because they take nothing and make it something. Most of their money is going into the projects. When they look at where their contributions go, it's going into closing the gap where there isn't enough subsidy coming from all of these other places.
One of the things that Jubilee likes to do is to innovate. We established a community solar program here to lower the energy costs of our residents.
We developed a partnership with Jubilee to take the solar production from the roof of Maycroft Apartments. And instead of using the solar for the common areas, we elected to get the benefits directly to the residents of Jubilee. Going beyond the Maycroft, we're trying to subscribe as many of the Jubilee residents as possible into a Solar for All program.
I came through 2 foster homes, but when I became part of Jubilee Housing, they became my family for me and my son, and even to this day, they're my family. Having your own key to go into your own home is a blessing. It's truly a blessing.
Jubilee Housing fights for justice. Justice housing is a way to do that. Housing in thriving neighborhoods with nearby transportation, nearby jobs. It's keeping people in this city, many of whom have been here their whole lives.
You're bringing justice to it because you're providing people with an opportunity to live in an area that they wouldn't normally be able to afford, but also it's an area that is packed with amenities and wraparound services.
Jubilee is one part of what's necessary to keep communities like this diverse. It keeps it open, it keeps it accessible, it keeps it rich in culture and language. It keeps opportunities for there to be hopefully businesses started, education acquired, generations of families to have safe spaces so that the next generation has opportunities that the generation before did not have.
That's the multiplier effect. They will have better lives, and then their children will have better lives. And it's such a simple thing, but it is so important, and it reverses a vicious cycle into a virtuous cycle.
The cost of developing properties is not going down, so it means we have to work harder.
It requires more resources from the community at large for people to step up and say it's important for us to maintain high-quality justice housing. It's going to require money, it's going to require friends to help make that happen.
Jubilee is a partner on multiple levels, and so our team is working with Jubilee Housing, Jim Knight and others day in and day out in some of the very important work down at City Hall in Washington, D.C., engaging the mayor, engaging the city council, and engaging private sector players around what are the policies that we need for us to serve people who need housing.
I think virtually every one of us believes that there ought to be enough of everything for everybody. There ought to be enough housing, there ought to be enough education, there ought to be enough food, there ought to be enough joy. This is an effort that believes that that's not only possible, but that's what is meant to be.
So I encourage anyone who may hear this video, support Jubilee Housing with your time, with your talent, with your treasure, because this is the voice. These are the people. They're going to make sure that our neighbors and our coworkers, our friends, citizens of our city who are perhaps going to be forgotten otherwise are not forgotten.